let's get connected with our celebrity and guest without wasting much of our time. We are being honored to have the special presence of our celebrity guest. She is none other than Dr. Priti Das. She is a neurovirologist. Let us get to know more about it. She is joining us all the way from the lovely city, Kolkata, West Bengal, India. Join us, friends, to welcome our celebrity and guest for today, Dr. Priti Das. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey. Thank you.
Hi, namaste. How are you?
Fine, thank you, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining our show.
Yeah.
Dear ma'am, I go ahead and share your profile and we begin the session.
Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you, dear. So friends, as usual, we share the profiles of our celebrities and guests. And today we have Dr. Priti with us. We'll get to know more about her work. For me, neurovirology is something new. I'd love to know more about it. And I would like you also to learn something about it. So let me share ma'am's profile. She has completed her master's in medical microbiology. She also completed her PhD in neurovirology from NIMHANS. And she's actively involved in various activities. She was also actively involved in a COVID duty. So what is this COVID duty? It was connected with NACO, that is NACO, as a technical officer in the pediatric HIV sector. She contributed various chapters in an academic book named Microbes of Medical Importance. Currently, Dr. Priti Das is into medical writing and social activities as well. Dr. Priti holds a position as the city president in Mother's Army, which is founded by Dr. Harbin Arora. And they help the people who have been affected by flood relief, mental health awareness programs. They have safety and security for women and children, etc. They also have various campaigns held on vaccine awareness, that is vaccine awareness campaigns, and special support given to the LGBTQ community. Apart from that, they have multiple goals where they would like to focus and help people whenever and wherever necessary in the society. In this way, she is a wonderful neurovirologist, and at the same time, she knows her responsibilities towards the society. Apart from being a great professional, you need to contribute in a way that is really useful for the society. That is, you have to be more compassionate, more humane, and spread humanity and peace apart from being a wonderful professional. Let's get to know the journey of this young doctor. She's none other than Dr. Priti Das. Ma'am, you have a wonderful profile. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to the International Fab Talks. We are really happy to have you here. How would you define yourself? Who is the real Dr. Priti? If I could put that, or how would you describe Dr. Priti Das for all of us today?
Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for calling me and for this wonderful opportunity today. Let me just tell you what is neurovirologist called actually, or what do we do, because this is much more interesting topic for people, specifically when you are not knowing much about this, right? Because this is sort of a new terminology. So even though it looks like a new terminology, but it is not new. Why? Because when we are talking about neurovirology, this terminology itself is like there are a lot of viruses which is actually invading our central nervous system. Okay, so basically they have affinity towards neuronal tissues, and that will infect the tissues, and that can cause further infections, brain disorders, like that. So just let me tell you something, like suppose HIV. If I say HIV, then what people will think? Okay, HIV is causing AIDS, right? But yeah, HIV can cause dementia also. So there are very few people who must be knowing about it. So this is a neurotropic virus actually. Even for COVID also, when we started, we all focused on that. We know that fever, dyspnea, cough, these were the some sort of symptoms where we all focused on, and we thought like, okay, lung is the main part which is getting affected out of it, and that was of course true, 100% true. But it is also a neurotropic virus, and it's like there are a lot of European research what has those sort of from that research we could able to know like this virus is something like causing brain disorders and all. Okay, so but this sort of things, no, immediately when we come to know about some virus, we cannot even say, okay, if it is not prominent symptom, then we cannot say whether this is neurotropic or not. So this is like you have to do some research on it. You have to think about the virus characteristics, and probably with further expertise you can understand like how it works actually. So as a neurovirologist, what we do is like we work with emerging, re-emerging viruses, and we we also help in daily diagnostics, like probably dengue, chikungunya, ELISA and all. And you know that, even I'll tell you one thing, that dengue, chikungunya or West Nile, these are also neurotropic viruses. So there are a lot of neurotropic viruses which are quite common, even influenza, rabies. Okay, so we work with these viruses, we look for the sequences, we look for virus host interaction, if there is any vaccine, we look for the immune response. So this is something, a vast field to work with or to study with. So basically we do in-depth study of neurotropic viruses. That's why we call ourselves as neurovirologist.
Yes, excellent, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, I had no idea as to what it is. I wanted to know actually what it is, and you really explained that very well. Now, many of us would love to know, why did you choose to become a neurovirologist? When did the passion in you bloom and you went further ahead, completed your PhD in neurovirology from NIMHANS? Like, what made you do all of this?
Okay, so this is sort of a long journey. I have to tell like anyway, I'll just say. So the first thing is like I studied my bachelor's from West Bengal. So my bachelor, that was only on like microbiology honors. So when I was studying microbiology, we had like different what to say, like in microbiology only we have different branches. So it is like in probably industrial microbiology, agricultural microbiology. So like that, there is one branch which is called as medical microbiology, where we actually study for microbes which are causing human diseases, or related to human disease. So when I was studying that, like I got some immense interest in this particular field. And also I have seen, see, if you're interested in something, you will also see it in your results, right? So that will reflect. So for my case also, it had happened like that, and I had a very good score in that particular subject. So I thought, okay, if I am really interested, I should go for it, I should opt that. But problem was, like in West Bengal at that moment, it was not available because it was a quite new like a branch, you can say. So, and at that time we knew what is microbiology, but we didn't know like what is medical microbiology or something like that. Specifically in West Bengal, it was not there. So I tried to find here, but then when I didn't get it, I just tried it outside. And outside, I got in different places. So among all those places, I felt like Ramachandra University, Chennai, that is quite good. I went, I visited personally, and I saw their labs, infrastructure. I feel it's really good. So I can go for it. So I went for medical microbiology. And once I finished that studying medical microbiology and all, again in medical microbiology, you have like you have to study bacteriology, you have to study mycology. Mycology is all about fungus. And then you have to study molecular biology, probably a bit of genetics, and then parasitology. Like you will study parasitology is something where you will study about worms and that sort of parasites. So amoeba, probably all this. And then finally virology. So when I was studying, like we had to study a vast range of things, right? You could understand. So from there I felt, okay, virology is something which I am getting, I'm zilling with it actually. I shouldn't use zill word here, but yeah, for this I can, because that was really my passion. My passion was to work on HIV. That's how I entered in virology. I chose HIV to come to virology. That probably I could say something like that. So that is the reason in like I had that much interest that my PI said like, okay, you can take HIV as your master's dissertation. Whereas in master's dissertation at that moment, no, you were not supposed to work with some sort of virus like that, right? You need a lot of high infrastructure to manage this sort of viruses. So I worked on that, and it was really wonderful to work with. I went, I saw the patients, and I collected their histories, and it was like, though it was quite cumbersome, but it was really good. The experience was wonderful. So I thought, okay, I then probably for my PhD I'll take HIV only. So by that time, what happened is like, I joined in NIMHANS as a technical officer. So basically, my work was, to identify HIV in pediatric population. So that's what NACO has come into this particular field. So for NACO, how I mean, connected with NACO is like, I was technical officer in NACO. So that was my project, you can say, to find out HIV, the presence of HIV in a pediatric population. That was my job. So after that, slowly I thought, okay, let's go for with this topic only. Further, I can do my PhD. So I thought in that way, but we never know what's actually what is God's plan, right? So that's what people say. So for me also it worked. Like, I already started sample collections and everything, and in between that, at that time, what happened is like COVID came. Pandemic started and situation was really worse. So since my work was on pediatric HIV, so no parents were ready to bring their children, even in the ART center. So my situation was really worse because I didn't get any samples at that time, and I definitely I cannot push them for my benefits, right? So I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. Then my PI, she said, okay, let's do something on SARS-CoV-2 virus only, because this is something where you will get a lot of samples, and if you can work with the vaccine immune response, that will be breakthrough studies. And people are already taking Covishield vaccine, because at that time only Covishield was available. So people are already taking Covishield, so it's better, like, you should just take those people who had taken Covishield 2 doses vaccine, and you can look for the immune response. So there are, like, now what happened is like, there are many people who think that because of the they had taken Covishield or Covaxin, so probably they think this vaccine didn't work properly, something would have happened. A lot of anti-vaccine communities are there, so they are telling all these things. But see, in my study, what I found is like, of course, it's Indian population, Indian healthy population, I can say. And we have seen, like, yeah, there are even though your IgG is, we all know that antibody, right? So even though your antibody level will go down after 6 months to 1 year study, if you do, then it will go down. Eventually it will go down, of course, but your memory will be there. Your T cell memory, that's what we call it, that will be there to boost up. So whenever you will you would have seen that somebody who's got vaccination, and if the person has got the COVID, uh, it definitely will get the COVID. Okay, so vaccine will not give you complete protection. It's not like you will never get that disease. It is not like that. You may get it, but it will fight back soon. So you will feel like, after taking that vaccine, you will feel like, okay, I had only common cold. How do I feel in common cold? The same thing I am feeling. So there is no difference. So this is how I feel like, yeah, vaccination is important. See, for every good work, or for every work, there are lot of negative stuffs will go on, that will happen. But I myself, I am immunocompromised individual, because I have autoimmune disorder. But if I am surviving till now, giving interviews here, sitting, then definitely, I think, yeah, I mean, it works very well. I feel so, because I got COVID twice. So I had got this Delta as well as Omicron, but both of them worked really well for me. I didn't have any issues with that. So yeah, I think it's good to take vaccination. Yeah, that's what my journey to come to this particular field. And yeah, I am here now.
Yes, dear. Excellent, excellent. Priti Das, ma'am, thank you so much for sharing that. So as a young girl, you entered into this beautiful journey of serving the people with their physical health. You're also even connected with their mental health as well. You focus on that. You've joined hands with the right kind of people in the society. That's really wonderful, ma'am. Now, I'd like to know, like, when you entered into the field of becoming a neurovirologist, what was the situation at home? How did your parents respond? Did they agree with you to go into it, or they said, hold on, don't select this course?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. I mean, yeah, it's like something I'll tell you when during my master's, when I decided like I should work, how did it happen? I'll tell you. One fine morning, that was Saturday, I still remember. It was Saturday, and I was supposed to get to work with influenza virus, and I was quite feeling down because I wanted to work on HIV. So looking at my facial expression and everything, probably I don't know, my PI thought, okay, I should not give this particular work to this girl, otherwise she won't be able to give her 100%. So what happened is like she said, can you come to my chamber, Priti? I was like, yeah, okay, I can come. I didn't even take bath, so I was like, okay, I had to take, as soon I got ready, and somehow I went, I took bath and all, and I was like, I rushed into her chamber, and then she gave me one journal. Okay, and I just saw it's written that, molecular characterization of HIV, and she said like, you just read this journal, and with this topic, whatever it is there, we are going to think of some ideas from this particular journal, and we will be working on HIV. We are working on that. Are you happy now? That's what she said, and I was like, oh my god, I'm extremely happy. So I told my mother. So what happened is like, I came out from her chamber and I called my mother. So her reaction was like, what? Are you going to work on that? I mean, why? And I am like, no, I really wanted to work on this, right? You knew, so that's why. And my mom is like, no, but you are not supposed to work. Why are you working on that? It is, if you get something, somehow if you are getting it, it will be, I may get needle stick injuries, right, while doing some sort of procedure or work, and it's quite common in our sector. So she was so furious, and I was like, okay, don't be so furious. I will tell you. I'll just, I really want to do that work, so please help me, and something like that. Then she finally said, okay, do whatever you want to do, just do. So I started my work and I did that work, and I don't know what happened. She is the one, when I actually tried to, I told like, I don't want to go to Bangalore so far. Probably, again I have to spend a lot and go there to give the interview. So it's okay, leave it. Just I'm not going, I told her, and she was like, no, no, you want to work on HIV, right? This is something for a longer period of time you want, and you have even done your work in your master's. So just go. She pushed me. So that was completely different. Again, in COVID time, what happened was like, I got stuck in my hometown. But then what happened is like, I wrote a letter to Nimans that I want to come and serve people. So can you please write a letter, that I can just, cross through that place, because at that time, you knew, right, there was a lockdown, so we were not supposed to travel from one place to another. So I got that letter, and I just with I know, I think I had spent a lot of money in like going through some car, and then I just passed somehow that particular place with that letter. And then I went, and I immediately, that the day I went in this place, so immediately I just joined Nimans, okay, for the COVID duty. So this is what the scenario is. Basically, it is like, when you want to do something, somehow you will be doing, and your parents will be supporting. At that time, my mom was like, no, don't go for that. She was so scared, like, you will get COVID and all. And it happened like, one day I was working in my lab, and somehow that whole sample, it spilled over my hand, and I was like, oh god. But anyway, yeah, I knew how to overcome that, so I did that thing. But my parents, that at that time, they were very worried, but they were supportive. worried but supportive. So by this time they came to know like their daughter will do something, and they cannot stop it, so they can just support. And now they are very happy. Whatever I have achieved and I have done, they are very happy, they feel proud about it. So they say, okay, if you want to go in something like that, in if you are happy to serve people, just go and serve people, no problem. It's like ultimately, it is like how, whether you are happy or not doing your work, whether you are doing justice to your work, that is the first thing. So if you're doing it, and if people are getting some sort of help from you, then you can do it, no issue, we won't say anything. So that's how this thing works.
Wow, that's great. That's really nice. As you said, your parents were worried but supportive, right?
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's really nice. And where your happiness lies, they are happy for you. I mean, you're happy doing what you're doing, serving the community in the right way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great, Dr. Preeti. Now, when people call you as Dr. Preeti, how does that feel?
It is, I mean, so, okay, I'll say you one thing, frankly. It's like I haven't joined PhD to be called as Dr. Preeti. I joined PhD, or I did a sort of research like that, that my research was ICMR funded. So I did this sort of research, or I really joined this particular place because I want to do something good for the community. And I have some questions or ideas which I want to implement in future. So in this whole scenario, actually I haven't bothered a single day to be called as a Dr. Priti Das. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's fine. uh, it's okay, there are multiple PhDs, there are a lot of doctors available, but ultimately, what you do in your life and how you are helping people with whatever you have learned, how are you actually sharing your knowledge, that matters. It doesn't matter whether you have some fancy name or not. Same goes to doctors or nurses. They went to that place not to be called like that. They went because they had some passions, because nobody wants to give some 9 to 9 or even more than that, like more than 24 hours they had duties. We also had the same thing, we had night duties and all. I used to go back home late, 11:30, 12 o'clock I used to go back after finishing my work in the lab. So everybody in our sector or in our field, we do, I had my lunch at 4:30, 5 o'clock, we did that. So all this sort of professions, people just don't go for the fancy name, or thinking like, okay, if I do something like that, people will have another sort of respect for me. It's not like that. This kind of profession really need a lot of commitments. Actually, it doesn't mean like other professions doesn't. Of course, all other professions need commitments.
Put it right, you are a great professional because no tag in front of your name matters. It's only your work. Action speaks louder than anything else. So you are focused on bringing about a good change in the health of people with regard to their physical as well as mental health. Ma'am, you are the city president of Mother's Army. What is this all about? Could you share with us, and why did you join this beautiful organization, and how are you carrying out this journey in the right way?
Yeah. Okay, just let me tell you a bit about Mother's Army. So, Mother's Army is actually founded by Dr. Herbie Arora. So, probably you all know her. So, it is like she founded a lot of organization, but Mother's Army is something which is focusing on like women and children's safety and security. So also we do certain sort of awareness, like awareness for cervical cancer, or probably women health awareness, mental health awareness. So these are the programs or awareness programs we are conducting, as well as we are helping. We have multiple NGOs with us. So one of that is helping NGO, helping hand NGO, and what we do is like we help we help in flood relief camps. We also in Kolkata there are ongoing issues, so we are even helping there as much as possible from our side. And we are helping like in children's health and their mental conditions. And we are also we have certain vaccine awareness campaign. Specifically, I am focusing on, for me actually what I said is like, because this is a quite a larger organization and there are multiple professionals inside this organization. So we have lawyers, we have cyber security experts, we have psychologists, so doctors, like all these people are available. So what I feel is like, I should, from my point of view, I should focus on HIV and cervical cancer, like HPV, which is caused by HPV virus. So that is the reason I want to actually, we have this particular NGOs are having certain schools where we are planning to go and conduct vaccine awareness campaign, so that we could provide vaccines like for as much as girls possible. So this is how we want to work in future also. And even there, like November December Pride month will be there, and there is a big pride walk in Kolkata, so we'll be trying to connect with them also. We really support LGBTQ community, because it's like, sexual orientation is one's person's choice, right? We cannot just comment on that like that. So yeah, we really support this community, as well as we are, because December is some sort of month where it's like too much cold in Kolkata, so people may need, we are into distributing bed sheets or clothes whenever it is necessary. So we do this sort of like, I help whatever the whenever it's needed. And if NGOs are asking for it, definitely I immediately I just go and help however it is possible for me, whether it's giving them clothes, or by giving them bed sheets, or probably money, or even going there, visiting there, helping them, just sharing thoughts with them. So this is how we work. So we have, in few days we have another program with one NGO, where we will cut the cakes and distribute dry fruits for children, because we want to keep it healthy. We could arrange many other things, but we thought, let's just keep it healthy. So this is how we work. We have nutritionist also with us. So we just time to time we just try to go for some sort of awareness, where we talk about mother's nutrition, child's nutrition, how do we follow that. So this is how we try to do the program, because this is a new organization, and that is the reason we are doing, we already started to do multiple works. We have already done few works, and again, in future we have multiple ideas which we are going to definitely put into the scenario, so that people can get help. West Bengal people specifically, because we are team of West Bengal Mothers Army.
Yes, dear. That's really interesting, ma'am. Very, very interesting, Dr. Priti. Now, you are also into medical writing. What is this, if you could share that? See, you're playing so many tasks at the same time. That's really amazing. Over to you, dear.
Yeah, so yeah, medical writing is something I do. This is, I can tell you, it's a freelancing sort of work which I do whenever I get time, because and medical writing is something where we help MDs or MBBS, or like PhDs in their thesis, or their paper writing. We share our ideas. When they write something, we just rectify whether there is any corrections needed, or how to put it into more valuable way, so that papers can accept it. So this is how we work. And I'm working with a doctor only in this particular field. His company's name is Medsblock. So we like me, there are multiple staffs in that. So we work whenever we get time. We definitely, like, we work with that. And like, for a long time I was totally outside of Kolkata. I just came back in this Jan, I guess. So this year completely I thought like, okay, let's just go back to my native place. So I started with this medical writing, because I felt it's quite fascinating. I'm a good writer actually. I shouldn't give that comment on myself, but yeah, I mean, yes, I'm a good writer. People used to say that. So that is the reason I have written a book also, because I like to share my knowledge with people, younger people who are actually preparing themselves for different what to say, like different exams, competitive exams, or probably they need to gather knowledge so that they can utilize it in their upcoming exam. So because of that reason, I just ended up in writing Microbes of Medical Importance. That was the book's name, and I had contributed to virology chapter in that. So in future also, I have like two more books to be written, like there I have that idea. I have to start writing it. So, and also I, not only this, I write in magazines. So probably you'll be knowing Edna J. White. So I had worked with Edna in her magazine called Speak. So this is the international magazine where I wrote my COVID experience. Before that, there is one another health magazine called Rashtra Ratan. So during COVID, I had mentioned and given all my knowledge as possible, about COVID, SARS-CoV-2 virus or its characteristics. So like that, I used to write because this is also one sort of my passion, you can say. Like I like to sing, I like to paint. So this is how this writing is also one sort of profession for me.
Excellent, excellent, dear. That's really very nice, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Priti, for sharing all of that. Thank you very much for giving us a clarity about the writing work that you do with regard to the medical stream. That's really nice. Thank you for encouraging others as well to take it up as a profession, it could be, or a part-time job, it could be, or a passion. Writing is always beautiful, no matter what kind of writing, be it medical scripts, or it could also be like writing journals, writing poems, and I mean stories, etc. Dear ma'am, one big question for us, for all of us, including me, we'd love to know what is autoimmune diseases, or what are the causes for autoimmune diseases, or you could say autoimmune disorder. What is this all about? Many of us are unaware. Some of us may be suffering from it. What is your take on that, and how would you describe that for us in simple words? Over to you.
Okay, so yeah, this is a very good question again. So what I want to say is like, I'll keep it simple so that everybody can understand it. Okay, so basically, autoimmune disorder is something where your immune system is actually your foe, you can say. So your immune system is killing your cells. So whenever, suppose, one thing like, when any virus or any pathogen from outside it's entering into our body, what our body does, it produces antibodies, right? And that antibodies are going to kill these outsiders or outside invaders, you can say, invaders. So problem is, when it is autoimmune disorder, your own good cells, they are recognizing those cells as foreign cells, and your own immune system is actually killing your good cells. So when your immune system is killing your good cells, which is actually responsible for your healthy being, then it is going to hamper you, right? So there are multiple autoimmune disorders. I can tell you that there is one autoimmune disorder which we all know, but we don't know that it is autoimmune disorder, which is called diabetes. So diabetes is autoimmune disorder, and autoimmune disorders are mostly related to genetic disorder. I mean, you can say that if your family is having history something like that, then there are high chances that you may get it. You may even get the worst version of that particular disease. Okay, that may happen. So like diabetes, arthritis, another one. There are multiple people who are suffering from arthritis. This is also autoimmune disorder. So like that, I am suffering from MCTD. So this is multiple connective tissue disorder. Predominantly for me, it is called SLE. So SLE, full form is systemic lupus erythematosus. I know this is very difficult to understand. So SLE is something, you can say it's Wolff's disorder also, something like that you can say, because what happens is like, during SLE, I just have to show you that from this area, this cheek areas, no, it looks like a butterfly. Okay, that rashes, whatever it will appear, it will look like a butterfly wings. that sort of appearance, or wolf sort of appearance. You know how that wolf is having this feature, right? So that sort of appearances you may get. So you'll get that rashes, and you will understand that, okay, your autoimmune disorder is flaring up. Okay, so this is one sort of symptoms you can say. Other than that, you will have joint pains. Your all the joints will get affected. Then your specific systems may get affected, like your digestive system may get affected, your eye may get affected. So if you have eye inflammation or eye arthritis, probably you I don't know whether you have heard about this term. This terminology is called uveitis. So you may have that total eye inflammation, and if that inflammation goes quite high up, you may even go blind, something like that. So I have had injections in my eyes, I had injections in knees. Then I used to take some injections of monoclonal antibodies, which had cost some 15K to 20K, something like that. But it didn't work. So basically, for autoimmune disorder, whenever it flares up, doctors will give you steroids, and the side effects of steroids, right? Everybody know. So you will have hair loss, you may gain weight. Okay, so something like that will happen. Probably your skin will become scaly, a bit of that sort of things may come. So these all are because of your steroid. It may happen. But if you use steroid for a longer period of time, problem is like you have to face all these issues, and that is not good for your health. Even though steroid is only option, but you cannot do anything and you have to take it. But probably you can go for alternative therapies also. There are multiple alternative therapies. So basically what you have to keep in your mind is, like, if you have autoimmune disorder, then you have to just uh, keep a safe distance from stress. Stress is a major factor, but the problem is we all are having, somehow in our daily life we have stresses, right? So yeah, like during my PhD, when I had a lot of stress, because multiple things had to do, right? I had my job to look for, I had my PhD to look for, I was even sometimes some WHO work used to come, so I used to involve myself in that. There are multiple stuffs where I used to work. So with that, stresses will come. That's a very common factor or common thing to say for. At that time, it had happened like twice or thrice I was hospitalized. And at a certain moment, people thought I may not be able to finish my PhD. But yeah, I mean, even if you think like that, I knew that I can. So, and my guide had trust on me, so I could able to finish it off. So yeah, thanks to my guide, and thanks to all my mentors. So all of them helped my my Nimans family helped me a lot. Actually, I can say they were like my second family. So all of them helped me a lot. And that is the reason I could able to finish my PhD, even though I had a lot of difficulties. So whenever I used to go back to home, and take all these medications, and a lot of issues would have happened, and then I used to come back and start my work again. So like that I finished, like probably I had few gaps, but again I used to come back and continue my work. So even at that time, it had happened like due to steroid, like we all have, we in our sector we had to work with pipettes. So when I'm holding pipettes, no, my hand used to shake a lot. So then again I used to support my one hand with another hand, so that my experiment should not go wrong. So all these issues had happened. But yeah, with God's grace and with some good people in my life, I could able to finish things. So yeah, I mean, see, it is quite common that if you are facing some sort of problem like that, autoimmune disorders, or any rare disorder, if you're basically, it is mine is a rare disorder. SLE is really one sort of rare disorder. So if you're facing any rare disorder, then just don't feel like, okay, I won't be able to do anything because I have got something like that, so I should just sit quiet. Don't think like that. You can able to do. It's all your you know I don't know what is happening in your body, but your mind and your heart should be strong. That's it. Then I think people can able to do lot of work in their life. That's true. And even in SLE, your hemoglobin may go down also. Mine one time it was 4. It is supposed to be within 12, if you know, for women specifically. But yeah, it went down to 4. So yeah, but definitely with all these difficulties, if I can do, then all other women or men out there, or even children, everybody can do it. So they'll do it. That's what this is a small message actually from my side, that whatever happens in your life, just don't stop, keep doing things. You never know that, you know, some good things will come in your life. You may not be strong health wise, but you may be strong your mind wise or something else probably. So just don't stop. That's what I want to say.
Excellent, Preeti ma'am. That's really nice. You are a brave angel, you know. You've shared this so nicely. And you have a lot of mental strength, right? A resilience power. And you've overcome all the challenges. You also said that people have helped you, all your friends, and you've called the Nimmans as your second family. That's really nice. And you bravely shared about this autoimmune disorder. Many of us are unaware of it, and you've shared that so well. You also added one more important point. A lot of stress could also cause autoimmune disorders. So we'd love you to, reduce your stress levels, dear friends. No matter what people do outside, you stay happy within, control your own life. Don't let anyone take, you for granted. Or if you have multiple tasks to do, just like you had, madam, a lot of tasks to complete, your PhD, your job, and you were connected with WHO projects as well. So you had a lot of stress coming at the same time, the work pressure. Nevertheless, you overcome all the challenges with the support of the right kind of people. And today you're here sharing your journey with us. This is what we want on the International Fab Talks, for brave people to come out and share their journey and to emerge victorious in the eyes of others, and allow others to have the courage to speak out against uh, against anything you want to speak. Like maybe you want to speak about any abuse, you're welcome, or you want to speak about the disorders or the diseases that you are facing and how you're overcoming them, or you want to speak about your profession, you're welcome to the International Fab Talks. Dr. Preeti, that's really nice that you shared all of that. Now, one question which I'd like to put: as a woman, what were the challenges you had to face? Was it tough for you on your journey till date, or was it smooth for you? Over to you with regard to your education and your profession and your movement in the society.
Okay, of course, as a woman, it won't be so smooth, right? Every other woman can relate to this. So yeah, it's not smooth. You will get a lot of issues. You'll get a lot of judgments as well. And whatever you do, there'll be a lot of, it's like, I feel like for women, no, somewhere there are invisible question mark. It will be always there. Whatever you do, wherever you go, whatever you decide to go for, people will ask questions. So yeah, that was there, and always you have to give justification on that, like, you know, Sita Ma. So that's a very common thing for us. But yeah, there are good people, as I said earlier. Like, you may get people like that who are judgmental, or who are, who may harass you. Okay, because now in this scenario, I want to say, like, whatever is happening in our Kolkata, we all know that, right? So yeah, as a woman, whenever you go to that crowded bus, or you are traveling through metro or any places, people will look at you, people will try to take advantage of you, and that's a very common thing. It will be there. So you may have to leave your, sometimes it may happen that you may have to leave your profession because of that issues, right? So yeah, see, actually, if I say in my profession, I have met people who are really good. I haven't got something like that, but when I use public transportation, definitely I got this sort of issues, which, like, we all are getting every day. So I mean, it's really difficult. So how many I have scolded many people on that. But yeah, you can scold, you can even beat some of them. But still, I don't know what's wrong with these people. They should change their mentality. It's high time that people should change their mentality, because I don't know how come they even think to do something like that. So people do harass, in normal transportation, it's like you don't even know that who's harassing you. That's the main problem. You don't know because it's crowded, right? You don't know who's harassing you. That person will harass and go off. And you will find out, like, you'll try to find like who's there. By that time, that person will be gone. So this is sort of thing will happen. And yeah, I know few people, like those who, like since I am from this particular background, like like I have done my PhD, so there are I have heard, or I know people, like where PIs used to harass students. So that is really ridiculous. If your PI is doing something like that, then I don't know what you will do as a student. This is actually happened in Kolkata also, right? If your professor is harassing you, you just cannot go for anywhere else. So your professor, your colleague, these are the people whom you should trust actually. So there are times in Nimans when I used to work at night, and suppose if I'm working alone, my colleagues are coming inside and they're telling, Preeti, can you latch the door? Because that those are male colleagues, and they were like coming inside and it, latch the door, you are alone here. No, that's what colleagues should be. If your colleague is jumping onto you, then there's no point of calling them as colleague. You can call them as demon. They are not colleagues, right? Even in case of professors, right? My professors were so supportive. Like if mine PI, she was of course female, but apart from that, other male professors, they were really really good, very respectable person. So they helped me in multiple ways. During COVID, when my father was not getting bed, one of the professor, he helped my father. So that sort of relations we had. We never even uh, think something like that. But I heard many people, like they were suffering into that. And like in between, before I joined to Nimhans, I joined in some other institute, uh, hoping that I should do PhD there. So it was a all of a sudden plan. So if you just plan suddenly, it's not going good. That's what I came to understand from that particular scenario. So it is like at that moment, whoever was my PI, that person was not good. I didn't feel good about that PI. Okay. So that is the reason I decided, okay, I should leave the place. So, and then I joined Niman. So that was just for a few months, but at least, I gained my experience that, okay, there could be people like this also, where you should stand for yourself and just come out. So I did that. I come out and I joined in some prestigious place where I get my respect and I can give respect to them. Because if you give respect only, you can get respect. It will not come just like that. I am sitting in some position, it doesn't mean you will respect me, right? Isn't it? If I am not speaking in that way, if I'm not giving you that respect, why do you give me respect? There's no point of, it doesn't matter whether you are in in hierarchy, you are in a greater position or whatever. It doesn't matter. It all matters, like whether you are actually looking at me into that respectable way. If you're looking at it in that way, if you're giving me that, I will give back to you the same thing, right? So this happens. So that's what I want to say, like what I heard, or I mean, from different people, my friends, my colleagues, it happened in, even in like I shared you. So like that, in workplaces it could happen. In workplaces it could happen, and even in crowded bus or transportation, it may happen. So these are the actually places where girls are quite vulnerable. So you see, what we can do is, like, all these times, no, probably we just normalize this sort of things. A few days back I saw one documentary where it was like they were normalizing teasing, which is really bad, right? So we should, this is high time that we should not normalize these things. And whenever somebody is doing something like that, just stand for yourself. Whatever it is, whoever it is, just stand for yourself. Because I'll tell you one thing, like, you are coming from office, okay, after a long long hectic day, and you are facing this sort of harassment. You will feel disgusting from inside, but you may not be able to give that sort of reaction because you are so tired, right? But yeah, this is the time when even if you're tired or you are, ill or whatever it is, just stand for yourself. Even if a sick person is going to doctor and the doctor is not fine, then again I will tell you, like, that could be the another case of harassment, right? So in as a woman, your journey will never be smooth. It cannot be. Probably will be lucky one that you are getting only 10% harassment, or probably there is another woman who's getting 90% harassment. This sort of differences will be there, but I'm sure no woman can say that I have not faced any harassment in my whole life. That is actually negligible case. It won't happen. You will definitely get that.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, Dr. Preeti. Thank you so much. You shared that so well and so bravely. You reminded me of an incident that had happened with me in a public transport about 8 years back. I was traveling in a train from Hyderabad to my native place. And as I was traveling and going, there was an elderly person. He must be between 70 to 80 years, a senior citizen, 70 to 80 years, that maybe 75, I guess, but 70 to 80. And I was just sitting beside, he was sitting near the window. I was sitting in here, and besides me, my family. We were just sitting down and traveling. And I could feel that person coming a little closer, like I could feel the proximity too much. And at one point of time, you don't feel comfortable. Then I understood that something is wrong, or maybe I'm not comfortable sitting here. So I changed the place with my family members. I sat the seat, and then a male member of my family sat down over there in that place. And the journey continued. And then in the night when we were sleeping, each of us have taken our berths. I have taken the middle berth, and our family members, those who were there, all have taken. The senior citizen was sleeping down, the lower berth. Besides him, there was another lady. She was in her 50s, and she was sleeping on the lower berth towards the left side. And on the right side, the senior citizen. In the middle part of the night, this lady gets up and she's tapping my shoulder and waking me up. I said, what happened? She says that this senior citizen has put his hand on my chest. Then I realized that moment, when that proximity, he was moving closer and closer and coming to me, you see. So I understood that is something wrong. And he had the guts now to touch this lady. So we switched on the lights immediately. We called the TC. And then again, we, tried to make it clear to the TC. And then all of them woke up. And then they counseled the elderly person. And then I think they changed I believe they have changed his seat or something, his berth. And in the morning when he got down the train, he got on one station before us. He got down and walked out like a king, like nothing happened. There was no police complaint given, only he was counseled. See, he's a very senior citizen. So in that way, the next day he just got down with his light luggage and walked off without turning back, without saying a word. So this is what happens. It's not only the youngsters who do it. Even senior citizens could harass women in a number of ways. So stay safe. We are not gender biased over here. It could happen to any gender. Stay safe and stay connected. Speak out against abuse. As you've said, stand up for yourself. Right? So that's
Yeah.
really nice. So when you shared that, I could, get back that thought. Suddenly it came back, the flashback. So like this, I hope others also come out and share your journey with us. Speak against all forms of abuse. And let's put the abusers to shame on the spot, such that you save another person's life. Dr. Preeti, we all one day will leave this universe. We'll just vanish away from where we've come. We'll go back to the unknown. Now, how would you like people to remember Dr. Preeti? In what way should they remember you? What is the legacy that you'd love to leave behind? And what are the beautiful memories in way people should recollect their connection with you, with Dr. Priti Das?
In one sentence, I will say, like, they should remember me for my work, not for anything else. Because yeah, that's what I believe into. Like, you should do something in your life, that even if you are dying, people should tell, okay, she had done this for us. That sentence, that words, that flow of words should come from people's mouth. That then that is how you will have the success in your life. We depict this whole era, that you are helping your environment, and whatever actually making this environment. you are helping them. So it could be animal, it could be insect, it could be human beings, anybody. So just utilize your life, because if you are coming here with two great hands and two great feet and with a beautiful brain, then you should actually utilize it, because you can sit, you can sing, you can dance, you can roam around, you can what to say, click pictures, selfies, you can do all those what other animals cannot do, of course. So if you can do all these things, then just don't take selfies in whole day. Just utilize it in other ways also, right? That's what I feel. Doesn't matter from what profession you are coming from. Main thing is, like, you have to do something in your life for our everybody's good, actually. Not for, not only you should not just think like, okay, I have to do good for my family and friends. Family, friends are of course priorities, right? But apart from that, we really have to look for other sides, because you never know, like, there are multiple people or multiple animals, things. They may need our help. They may, they may call you. But you never know, you don't know, probably you are seeing a dog looking at you, okay, in a sad face, or a cow, but you don't know, you will think, okay, why it is even looking, but probably it is calling you, it is telling you to help me. So that's how it is. If you actually, you know what, it's probably, it will sound funny, but I want, not only human beings, even these animals also, insects also, everybody should remember that there was someone who helped us, or was there with us. We miss her, because she was there with us, she was part of us, like that. So this is how I want to be remembered, not in any other way.
That's so nice. You have a love for animals as well. That's really nice. And you say not only human beings, even animals also should remember the good that we've done for them, right? That's really
Yes.
nice. And you have two lovely rabbits, you've said, right? What are their names? Have you named them?
Yeah, actually, there is one chinchilla breed. So his name is, both of them are male. Unfortunately, actually, what happened is, like, I went and I thought like I should adopt girls, but I got both of them. They said it probably it's female, but because at that age it's difficult to understand their gender. So later on, okay, we understand, oh, these two are male bunnies, but yeah. So it's like, I have one chinchilla breed, so his name is Grace, and another one that is cinnamon breed, and his name is Poco.
Oh, that's
So
really
these are,
nice.
yeah, like our family. These two are our family, and they show all sort of gestures. Uh, by what I understand, okay, they are quite nearer to me, and they are quite fond of me, like that. So my rabbits are something, if they cannot see me, they don't. They're, me and my sister. I have a sister, so it's like, both of them are fond of us. So if we are not there, they won't eat, they won't play. So this is how, even I mean, generally people know that dog, cats, they may have feelings, even rabbits do have feelings. So they understand everything. So yeah, I mean, if we are not there, they'll do something like that.
Very nice, Dr. Preeti, for sharing all of that. Now, towards the end, before we come up to the end of the session, or let me put it right, to sum up the session, we have one more question coming up for you. What is on your bucket list? You have done so much till date. You're also connected with so many projects, and you keep yourself so busy, and you have even special love for animals as well. That is a beautiful surprise towards the ending for us. Now, we'd like to know about your bucket list. What is the vision and the goal that you have for the future?
Okay, so it is like, I'll tell you one from my field. You cannot actually consider it, but it's okay. I mean, you can say that I want to do that in my life. That is like, I want to, this I talked about the vaccine awareness campaign of cervical cancer, right? So it is definitely it is going on, but I feel, we need to push a little more. So I really want that, our girls should be aware in such a way that they should just go and take this vaccination without any further delay. Doesn't matter whether you are really going to get active in your next life or not, but just take the vaccine for your safety. That's what I want to say. So yeah, I just want to spread this awareness as much as girls possible. That's sort of my wish, or probably you can say that I'll definitely somehow I'll try to sort that out. That's the one thing. And the second thing is I want to visit two places. One is Ireland, and another one is Mauritius. So I feel, I don't know, Mauritius may not be that peaceful, but Ireland will be definitely a peaceful place to visit with. So I really like to visit, or probably I would like to settle down there in some part of my life. So yeah, these are the two things which I want to do in my life for now. And I don't know what else I will be doing, because it's like whenever with life, probably my bucket list will be quite high in numbers. But right now, yeah, I think I have fulfilled most of my wishes actually.
Yes, dear. Thank you so much, Dr. Priti, for sharing that. And we wish you all the happiness and joy in your life and in all your endeavors. We wish you all the best. And we'd love to share time with you because you come across as a very warm person. What I have seen, like we meet different people across our path. And whenever you meet certain people, you get connected to them. So you have a very warm, gentle way of connecting with people. You make the other person feel comfortably in your presence. You make them feel, that they are a part of you. That's really nice. So these such type of people are very rare to find. Some have a lot of ego issues. Some have a lot of, what you say, that proud feeling that I am so and so. And like you have something that is a person filled with compassion, not only for human beings, but also for animals. That I understand very well. Thank you so much for taking out the time to be here and to share your journey on the International Fab Talks. Towards the end, there's a small request from us. We'd love you to gift us with 3 words, 3 powerful words that come to your mind as a gift to the International Fab Talks.
Okay, I have that. Probably I want to give 3 words which actually today's world is missing. So one is passion, of course. Second will be love, and third is loyalty.
Wow, that's great. Passion, love, and loyalty, right?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. That's a beautiful gift to give us and to all the people and the viewers who would view this video one fine day. So dear friends, have a lot of passion with what you do. Take it forward in the right way. Spread love and be loyal to whatever you are doing and to the relationships that you're connected with. Thank you so much, Dr. Priti. Looking forward to many more interactions. Stay blessed and stay connected.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste, ma'am. Thank you so much. You've done a lot of justice on this platform. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Dear friends, with this, we'd like to sign off now from the International Fab Talks. If you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fab Talks. Please do share this video with the right kind of people. You never know who might be inspired by this story shared by Dr. Priti, her journey on the International Fab Talks. You never know who may want to try to be the next Dr. Priti, who would like to enter into the field of neurovirology. It's a new concept for many of us. जी जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
My dear friends, with this, we'd like to sign off now from the International Fab Talks. If you like what the International Fab Talk team is doing, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fab Talks. Above all, don't forget to love yourself, protect your family, and as well as protect the environment. Stay connected and stay blessed.